So I want you to look at your life and see the most extreme situations in your life. Let's say you are going through an extreme sense of anger or pain or frustration or suffering or whatever. Let's say extreme, you are on the verge of madness, it's happened to you, right? There are moments like this. Even in that moment, there is a spot of awareness in you. Have you noticed this? You still know all this is happening, you're doing it. You know there is still one spot of awareness alive. Now in this moment, you have chosen to empower your emotion, not your awareness, unfortunately. If you had empowered your awareness, that emotion would have just dried up in a moment. But you chose to empower your emotion because of karma. But you are conscious that there is a spot of awareness even in the most extreme moment of your life. Have you noticed this? Has everybody noticed this? The most extreme moment of your life, even there, that one spot of awareness was there, but unfortunately you don't choose to empower that. If you empower that, it's instantaneous. Right now, do you see in this 1 week, day by day, first day when you came here only, you thought, yes, I have registered, I paid the money, I am willing. Do you see day by day you are becoming a little more willing? Yes? I will tell you, if you remain here for 10 years, I will go on showing you in how many ways you are unwilling. Ask people who are here for 10 years. They think, Sadhguru, we are willing to give our life for you. What more? Then I point out, see, what about this, what about this, what about this, what… Yes, Sadhguru, but life I will give, but this, I have a little problem. So your willingness comes in installments. Accordingly, transformation comes in installments. If you become absolutely willing right now, it's instantaneous. You don't have to wait. This is what I said. Being a guru is frustrating because what can be done in a moment, it should be done in a moment actually, but people take a lifetime.
What is absolutely?
Being truly willing means you have no will of your own. I'm not joking. See, if you are absolutely willing, what use is your will, tell me? I won't use such negative words. You can call it a love affair, you can call it meditativeness. In all this, your identification drops. When your identity drops, your will also drops, isn't it? Yes? Only if your identity is on, there is a will. If there's no identity, if you just sit here like breeze, you don't need a will to sit here. Is this a surrender? No, the word surrender has a certain negativity attached to it, that you have to go and give up something. Nothing to give up. To become free of your nonsense, is it giving up? What are you giving up? There's no surrender, there's no sacrifice, just living sensibly. Does it make sense that you breathe free? Does it make sense? Or shall we stuff it up with something and do shall we breathe like this? Which makes more sense to you? I'm just talking about breathing free on a much deeper level, that you breathe free with life. Life happens to you in a very free way. You don't stuff it up and clog it up with all kinds of nonsense. If life happens to you with absolute freedom, if you sit here, you can't make out much difference between what is you and what is a breeze, it just feels like that. Now, life is not burdensome, life is not threatening you with misery. Now what's your hassle about being willing for anything? You're willing for anything if there is no fear of suffering, isn't it? Yes or no? See, right now if I tell you, if I take you up the mountain and say, jump off, if I take away the consequence of pain and suffering, aren't you willing to jump?
Yes.
Definitely. Only because there is a consequence of suffering, you say no, isn't it? If the consequence of suffering is taken away from your life, you will do anything. If I ask you to jump off Mount Everest, you'll jump off. Isn't it so? So right now, we are just working on that, to remove the consequence of suffering. You've heard of a word called Buddha? When I say Buddha, you're always thinking of Gautama the Buddha. He's not the only Buddha. There have been thousands of Buddhas and there still are. Bu means buddhi or the intellect. Da means dada, one who is above. One who is above his intellect is a Buddha. One who is in his intellect is a non-stop suffering human being. Once you're into your intellect, your anxieties and struggles are never gone, please see. It doesn't matter whether you are a beggar or a king, your struggles are always on, isn't it? Right now you're watching the mountain, wow, beautiful. You forgot your suffering. You turn back and see, your anxieties are sitting right there like your tail, it always follows you wherever you go, isn't it so? So once you're into the intellect, this is the way. If you were below the intellect, you would not know all this kind of suffering. Animals do not know the kind of suffering that you know, isn't it? They know physical suffering. They don't know much mental suffering, very little suffering they know. Above the intellect, no suffering at all, that's being a Buddha. In the intellect, non-stop suffering. Below the intellect, not so much suffering. If you're above the intellect, we call you a Buddha. In the intellect, that's what you are right now. If you're below the intellect, maybe we can call you a Buddhu.